Hi, welcome to part 2 of this series of videos discussing cloud migrations using Talos. We're using DevOps principles to enable cloud migrations and leave you with a solid DevOps strategy going forward. So far, we've used Talos to discover our existing on-prem hosted platform and shown how we can read in the applications and configurations for the platform so they're stored within Talos. So now we're going to show how you can create templates based on your applications to keep all of that information in one place and introduce variables where differences can appear between SDLC environments. So let's create a template from our existing configuration. So we have everything here, every piece of configuration that is exposed through an API. It's a bit daunting, but really we only need a few of these items because most of these are just defaults. So what we need to do is identify where the configuration is that we need to move across. So let's create a template. We could go through all this configuration and find the bits that we need, but we could miss something. So to make it easier, we're going to use a feature of Talos where you can compare middleware configurations to find the differences. You can compare two different environments to find out where the differences are, but in this instance, I'm going to compare this configuration with a blank cell. Now this brings up a lot of items, so let's just see those items that are unique to the existing configuration and not in the blank cell. And there we have it. So the only configuration we need to add to the template are the application itself and the MySQL JDBC provider and data source. So let's create a template based on that configuration. There's a button here that does just that. And here's the template all ready for our application to use. Now, some of these items are going to change as we move between environments, like the database server or the cell name. So we can add variables to allow us to externalize those values and be able to provide just those details when moving to a new environment. So one of these that I know is the server name value. So if I just search for that, then I'll find that value, and this server name is the server where the database resides. So what I'm going to do is just create a variable here, and I'll call it server name, and save it, and then that'll appear in our variables box. Now there's another instance of this server name that also appears in the URL property. So if I find that, I can see it's here, and it's within this other string here. So I can handle that by linking to the existing server name variable that I have, and you'll see that it's automatically detected that the server name appears within there in the variable replacement. So I can save that. So the other thing I have is in the application itself, and that's in the deployment options. So here it's the cell name which is going to change between environments. So again, I'll just create a variable called cell name. Let's save that, and I've got a cell name called master cell here. Now there's also another place it appears here. So again, I'll link to the existing value, the cell name value, and it will once again just insert that token inside that string. And that's everything I have to do within that within the template creation. So I just save and close that, and the template's complete. Now, if we go back to our existing cloud test environment that's currently empty, what we can do is add the template that we've just created to that instance, and then that template is associated with that environment. Now, if I toggle the variables here, I need some values to apply this template because I've said that there are values that are going to be different between different environments. So I need to give this the cell name, which in this case is AWS cell 1, and the server name. And now we're ready to execute the run to apply that application and those configurations to the cloud test environment. We support a number of orchestration engines. The one I'm using at the moment is Jenkins. So we just need to find the cloud test dictionary configure job that's been created for us by Talos and execute that job. And so with that job complete, we can go and look at the WebSphere application server, and we can see that a cluster member has been created. We have an application created, deployed, and the application is running. So let's go and see that that's there. So now we can imagine that we have a configuration change or a new version of the application to deploy. So for example here we've had a new variable created that we need to include. So if this was a new version of the application, you'd simply put the updated deployables in the template apps directory. So that being the case, all we have to do is reread the configuration. And then we're just going to need to edit the template to add in that variable. And then we simply need to execute the project again. And now that's complete, we can go and check the target environment. And we can see that that required variable has appeared there. Obviously, this can be put into your automation flow, so you can kick off a build or re-release of this every day, every time upon check-in, however you like to work. So having all your configuration and applications stored in one place gives you total control over the release process and makes sure that all the changes are applied in the same way from dev to production to the cloud, no matter who executes them. So in the next video, we'll see how we can use what we've created so far to build out a new platform in the cloud and migrate your existing applications quickly and easily. Thanks for watching.